Hi there. Have you ever heard the word grace and just wondered what it really, truly means? Maybe it feels like something a bit out there, too high-minded, or even just too good to be true. In a world that often tells us we have to earn everything we get, where our value seems tied directly to how well we perform, the very idea of getting something we absolutely don't deserve can seem pretty strange, almost impossible to wrap our heads around. But here's the thing, the beautiful truth. Grace isn't just a fancy religious word. It's the very heart of who God is, like a huge, endless ocean of His undeserved kindness just pouring out on us, overflowing with love and generosity. It's a vastness that goes beyond anything we can imagine, always there, always available. Today, I want to invite you to just soak in the amazing, liberating beauty of God's grace. This message is here specifically to help lift that heavy, crushing weight of always trying to be good enough, to finally quiet that nagging, critical voice inside your head that keeps telling you you need to earn God's love or somehow qualify for it. Because the honest, liberating truth is, you can't. You simply don't have to. And that's precisely what makes grace so incredibly powerful and truly life-changing. It's not about what you do. It's about what He's already done. Let's start with a really important foundational truth from Ephesians 2, 8 through 9. For by grace you have been saved through faith. And this is not your own doing. It is the gift of God, not a result of works, so that no one may boast. This scripture is like a bright, piercing light, cutting right through all the confusion and effort that comes from trying too hard in our own strength. It makes it super clear, beyond any doubt, that our salvation, our whole spiritual life and standing with God, isn't something we manage to achieve by being strong-willed, by following a rigid list of rules perfectly, or by doing tons of impressive good things. Imagine trying to build a ladder all the way to heaven all by yourself, using only your own efforts. It's just plain impossible, right? Instead, God simply reaches out His hand in pure, unconditional love, offering salvation as a pure, free gift. We don't get it by earning it, by checking off boxes, or by proving our worth. We just believe and wholeheartedly receive it. That's the beautiful core of grace. God, in His huge, unending generosity, gives us what we truly don't deserve and what we could never, ever earn on our own 2 feet. It takes away any reason for us to brag or puff ourselves up, and instead, it points all the praise and glory directly to His wonderful, overflowing kindness. It's truly all about Him, not us. Sometimes, we might mistakenly think grace is just a little reward for being good, like a gold star for good behavior, or maybe just a small pass for minor slip-ups we make. But grace goes so much, much deeper than that, like unfathomably deeper. Think about the astonishing, almost unbelievable truth in Romans 5:8. But God shows His love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. This, my friend, is a true game changer. God's amazing grace wasn't waiting for us to get our lives perfectly organized, or to reach some impressive level of spiritual maturity, or to somehow prove we were worthy enough. No way. His amazing love, shown perfectly and completely through Jesus' sacrifice on the cross, reached right out to us when we were still messy, still rebellious, still making mistakes, still in our most unlovable and broken state. That's the truly shocking, breathtaking beauty of real grace. It's not a reaction to our goodness, because let's be honest, we don't have enough of that. Instead, it's a profound, undeniable statement of His incredible goodness and endless, unconditional love. It's not about our worthiness at all, but purely about His absolute unchanging character and limitless compassion. Now, you might have heard some people mistakenly say, grace is like a license to sin, suggesting that if God forgives everything, then our behavior doesn't really matter, and we can just do whatever we want. This common misunderstanding totally misses the life-changing and deeply powerful effect of God's grace. It's a dangerous idea that distorts the very heart of what grace is about. The Bible clearly states in Titus 2:11-12, "For the grace of God has appeared, bringing salvation for all people, training us to renounce ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in the present age." Do you see that big positive shift? Grace doesn't encourage us to live carelessly, recklessly, or without thought for consequences. Instead, it teaches us, it trains us from the inside out, and it gives us the power to live a completely transformed life. It changes our deepest desires and motivations, leading us to actually want to live a holy life, not out of strict rules, heavy obligation, or nagging fear, but out of a deep, heartfelt love and immense gratitude for the priceless gift God has so freely given us. Grace isn't just about forgiving our past mistakes, though that's profoundly, wonderfully important. It's also about empowering us to live a right and good life right now, today, and moving forward into the future. It truly changes who we are at our core and how we live out every single day. You might be thinking, but I feel so weak, so inadequate, always making mistakes. How can grace possibly apply to my ongoing struggles and constant slip-ups? This, my friend, is exactly where the endless sufficiency of grace shines the brightest and offers the most profound comfort. It's designed for these very moments. Think about the Apostle Paul, a giant of faith who did so much for God, but also struggled deeply with a persistent thorn in the flesh, some personal weakness or problem he really wanted gone. He begged God 3 times, pouring out his heart to take it away, but God's answer was surprising and beautifully counterintuitive, as recorded in 2 Corinthians 12:9. "But he said to me, 'My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me.'" This powerful truth means that God's grace isn't just for our strong moments, our big victories, or when we somehow get everything perfectly right. No, it's specifically and perfectly designed to meet us in our deepest weaknesses, our biggest struggles, our most enduring challenges, and even our most embarrassing failures, when we feel completely unable, when we've run out of our own strength, energy, and solutions. That's precisely when His strength, His sustaining grace, can be fully seen and powerfully expressed through us. It's a wonderfully comforting and liberating thought, isn't it? Our human limits don't make His endless grace any smaller. In fact, they often become the very clear ways His divine power flows most clearly and powerfully. Living under grace means we always have open, easy, and immediate access to God's loving presence and His unfailing help. Hebrews 4:16 offers an incredibly warm and compelling invitation to each of us. "Let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need." This isn't a hesitant or cautious invitation. It's a bold encouragement to approach with full confidence and certainty. No matter what you're dealing with right now, a tough decision that's weighing you down, overwhelming worry or anxiety, a temptation that just won't seem to go away, or the lingering pain from old hurts and disappointments, you can confidently come right to God. For those who believe and trust in Him, His throne isn't a stern judge's seat where you'll face punishment or harsh judgment. but a glorious throne of grace, where mercy overflows and specific help is always ready, right there exactly when you need it most. You don't have to try and clean yourself up first, or earn some kind of spiritual admission ticket. You're invited to come just as you are, with all your flaws, burdens, and brokenness, and His grace will start the deep transforming work of healing and purification right then and there. It's an ongoing process, a loving invitation for every moment. Embracing grace deeply changes how we see things and how we live our entire lives. It means consciously letting go of that heavy, exhausting pressure to be perfect and to rely only on yourself for everything. Instead, it's about humbly letting God, in His incredible wisdom and boundless compassion, work His supernatural transformation both in and through your imperfections, your struggles, and your unique personality. What's more, it means extending forgiveness to yourself, truly letting go of self-blame, just as God's endless mercy has completely and freely forgiven you. And crucially, it involves giving that very same undeserved kindness, patience, and understanding to others that you've so freely received from Him. When we truly grasp, deep in our hearts and minds, the amazing, unfathomable depth of God's grace toward us, it naturally flows out of us like a living stream, making our relationships better, changing our whole outlook on life from one of dread to one of hope, and ultimately transforming our entire being from the inside out. It sets us wonderfully free to love authentically, to serve joyfully, and to live fully and boldly, not because we have to earn approval, but from a profound, liberating wellspring of never-ending gratitude for such an extraordinary, priceless gift. So my friend, please, take a moment right now. Let the liberating, comforting truth of God's grace just wash over you today, covering every part of your being. It's more than enough for everything in your past, every struggle in your present moment, and every uncertainty in your future. Its power isn't based on how you perform, how many good deeds you do, or how strong you feel, but solely on God's unchanging, perfect nature and His unyielding love. Your identity isn't defined by your mistakes, your limits, or your struggles, but by the astonishing, boundless, and eternal grace of God that has been so generously given to you through the unique, perfect work of Jesus Christ. Just rest in this truth, receive it with an open heart and open hands, and let it deeply transform every single part of your precious life.